I mean, and everybody again is very different in the way that they treat their Facebook and the way that they want to be perceived and everything like that. Me personally, I'm a very introverted individual. It may not always seem like that. I try to appear extroverted. I'm not. I'm very much introverted. I'm very much to myself. I don't do a lot of posting. However, it's something that again, if I was still selling real estate, I absolutely would because it's a necessity. People want to get to know you. They don't want to, look at your business card and just read into what they think you are, right? And kind of Gabriel said it earlier as well. Don't leave a blank canvas for them to assume who you are.
So guys, this is a mastermind event. Brian Curtis is hosting it, Logan Prest, myself for LCA, but it's kind of a unique setting. We do it every other week as a mastermind. So the opportunity here is to unmute yourself. The opportunity here is to throw on video, and we're going to go into Facebook lead generation and conversion pretty deep here. So get ready to ask those questions really as we have a good time collaborating and masterminding together about that subject.
Cool. And thanks everybody. And by the way, if you find some value in this, and I can't imagine that you won't, then this will be recorded and we will have this on replay. So I don't know, without any further ado, we'd love to hear from some people. There's a lot of great people on here, and I'm going to encourage everybody to turn on your camera. I'm going to quote my coach: you wouldn't show up to a meeting with a plastic bag over your head, so don't show up to this one with your camera off. Just a little teasing for those of you who are out there, but ultimately we'd love to see you, interact with you. I'm sure you guys have some great questions to ask, so please put them in the chat, raise your hand, whatever, and we'd love to get your questions answered for you today.
I see Wendy here, and a good thing about Wendy, Brian, is we host these masterminds every Wednesday for StreetText, but she will be there even if she is busy. If she's at a hair appointment, she's literally showed up at a hair appointment, getting her hair did by the hairstylist. Like, I don't know what you were doing there, but she's there on camera.
Covering the gray.
I think she was getting her hair dyed.
I'm actually heading there right now. That's why I look atrocious. But hey,
there you go.
Camera's on.
But a regular, it's awesome. And then you got Leon Harper here, who hasn't missed their mastermind with StreetText in maybe, I don't know, 3 years, Leon? 3 years. And then really, if he does miss it, he'll watch the recording. So that's the value of these masterminds. Because listen, when you get in deep, you're going to discover some of our agents have been generating Facebook leads for the last 5 years with us as it evolved, as these algorithms have changed, as Facebook that became Meta, and then they're all these updates, and despite all the changes, how we're meeting new people, and then how we're creating conversations with those people on Facebook. So it's pretty awesome. If you just sit back and just ask questions of some of these veterans, you're going to learn a ton.
Yeah, absolutely. So who has the first question?
I've probably missed two since 2017 or 18. But the other added value is I always go back and watch the replays because there's always little things you pick up, nuggets that just steer you in directions you want to go, and it just you can't get nothing better than that.
And I kind of like the mastermind format. I look at it much like a garden. It's like a community garden. People come and plant their seeds, their ideas, and just watch it grow within the community. It's fantastic. I've planted some seeds of my own, way back in the beginning, bringing in some different ideas on mailers and things, and no thoughts of them being perfect, but still, I thought they were great. Other people took the root idea and just made them so much better than anything I could have ever imagined, and then bring them back to the community, and everybody is improving. So again, it's a place to come and hear other people's ideas, absolutely, but I don't care how big or small you think your idea is. This is absolutely the place to share it, and you'll hear other people with similar ideas, and again, you're going to plant that seed and let somebody else kind of nurture it and bring it back to you as a food on the table, so to speak. It's a fantastic place to be. So again, kind of echoing what Brian started with, don't be shy. Turn your cameras on if you want. You don't have to, of course, if you don't want, but definitely be, engaged. Listen to what's going on, pay attention, but most importantly, contribute. Ask questions, regardless of what, whether you think they're silly or not. They're not. Any question, if you're wondering something, somebody else here, either live or through the replay, is going to hope that somebody asked that question. So ask, contribute, and let's all improve.
Yeah, and if you guys don't, I think I'm just going to talk to Jason about his boat. So I think I'm missing out. I'm the guy literally on a webinar on a boat. So I'm a little jealous. It's about 35 degrees where I'm at right now. So that's a pretty cool office you got there, Jason.
Where are you at, Jason? You can unmute yourself.
I'm in Oceanside, California. Sitting in the harbor.
I love that area.
Yeah, this is my office.
Awesome. So, hey, while I'm seeing another familiar face. How's it going, Kim? So let's begin by using this chat feature, or maybe there's a little reactions tab if you have it, where you can give a thumbs up, or you can use the chat feature. How many of you right now have some experience with generating Facebook leads? And if you don't, say no. This way we can help set the tone for what Facebook's all about. Little to none, Kim. I would say you've got some experience at this point. Yes, that's true, Leon. There is no dumb questions. Okay, and so for those of you that have had experience with Facebook leads, talk us through your experience. What has it been like? Do you like it? Is it frustrating? Has it worked or not worked? Begin by just simply unmuting yourself and letting us know. We'll start there.
I guess I'll start off by saying I think overall in the history of lead generation, just online, I think for what I've noticed is that online leads are way less loyal than anybody else, right? And I think most people can agree with that. Like, they don't know you from the other person. So being a top producer makes no difference if you haven't contacted them to let them know who you are, where you are. So, and then there's on the other completely different side, your database, right? Your friends, family, past clients. I think StreetText kind of marries those two, where it's like, yeah, online leads aren't as loyal, but because they find you on Facebook, they can look you up, they can look at your profile, so they feel a little bit more invested, or committed to the person that they're reaching out to. So that's the first thing that popped up. So I think that's one thing.
Gabriel, completely agree with where you're going there. And what I would like to go and just hear some thoughts from people about that is, how do you take that Facebook lead? Obviously, you talked a little bit about marrying the two concepts together, but how do I take a Facebook lead and turn it into somebody who potentially will be loyal to me? How do I make them know, like, and trust me? What are some of the stuff that some of you guys are doing out there and having success? Because I know that you guys are having success. We talk about Wendy all the time, the success that she has. So what are the things that we do to take this person from being a cold stranger to warm them up and to eventually get them to be a loyal customer?
I think just right off the bat is thinking long-term, making long-term decisions with this person. Number one is delivering what they want. If it's the value of their home, if it's a question, focus on that and give it to them, while in your mind making the long-term decisions and thinking about things like, what is this client's lifetime value? How many people on their Facebook are on their friends list? 2,000. Okay, that's 200 opportunities I could be introduced to if I treat them nice and I friend request them, and then they just interact with me. They're going to allow me or introduce me to, usually about 10% of the people on their database will buy or sell. Those are opportunities, and it's up to you to convert as many of those as possible. So I think it's long-term thinking, making long-term decisions, coming from a place of helpfulness and giving them what they want up front, and just treating them like if you met somebody else, let's just say somebody you met that might be your girlfriend or boyfriend, right? If you're thinking like, whoa, this person's awesome, you immediately go into long-term thinking. You do not treat them like a short-term person. And that's where I'm seeing where people don't get excited that they have a live human being in their CRM. And it's like, oh, it's address only. It's like, yeah, but this is a potential thousands of dollars in your pocket, you know, like get excited about the lifetime value and the relationship. Those are my thoughts on that.
I love that. And I appreciate that because, you know, again, when we treat people transactionally only, that's the relationship we build. And if I treat you as someone I transact with and I don't have any relationship with you, then if I blow you off, it's okay. We don't have a relationship. We're just a transaction. And that was, you know, the interpretation that I had from what you're there. And by the way, I love the mindset. Your mindset is I've got somebody new in my CRM. You're not judging that person. You're not evaluating that person. You're just saying, I've got somebody new and now I have a set of actions that I take to help me move forward. So yeah. Logan, I see that you unmuted.
Yeah, and I know Wendy looks like is chomping at the bit to say something as well. So I'll just real quick here is that I'm very careful not to lump everybody together. I don't have expectations of any single person. I can't remember exactly who it was that said this, but it was fantastic advice. She was saying that she diagnoses all of her leads as if she was a physician. Her job is to figure out why did they click. You know, not to sell them on something. You don't just prescribe pills to somebody who you don't know what the illness is you're curing. Just because they clicked on the ad looking for a home valuation doesn't mean that's all they're looking for. Or that's even what they're looking for. They clicked on your ad, you have their information, you have an opportunity to talk to them, put them into their little, you know, database and figure things out. But most importantly, it's an understanding that 100% of your leads aren't going to work with you. And that's fine. We don't need 100% of these leads to work with us. And the second you get a group of individuals and the first person that responds to you says, oh, I'm not interested, I didn't click on this, rabble, you immediately, or a lot of people look at the rest of that database, the rest of those people and say, okay, these are junk. These are no good. Well, we don't need 100%. We need really 1%. But I look at every 100 leads as there's 10 individuals in here who are going to buy or sell within an appropriate timeline. Can you get to all 10% of them appropriately? Are all 10% going to work with you? Not necessarily, but that's kind of the idea is you just need to be there and kind of like Gabriel was saying as well, don't focus on tomorrow, focus on the long term. You know, if you are quick to kind of pass on somebody because you don't think that they're exactly what you're looking for today, you lose the opportunity to kind of keep them close and nurture them and engage them and get them to know you. And again, know, like, and trust. Those people, even if they're not ready to use your service, they know people who are, right? So, you know, treat everybody with kindness and respect and come from a place of service. And again, don't just immediately lump everybody together. No two people are alike. So yeah, Wendy, I know that you were looking to add something to that, so please do.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not speaking for everybody, but what has worked for me is just to be real. So like Marcus said, they will be stalking you on Facebook. And if you just have, this is for sale, market's hot, this is for sale, you know, people are going to want to not follow you. So most of my stuff is personal, and sometimes I turn personal into business, you know, in a humorous way, which people like, you know. And so I also add in my real estate, but yeah, just being real and being who you are is going to attract the people that you want to work with. So if you want to be stuffy and, you know, be a certain way, that's the people you're going to attract. If you want super cool Jeep people that like to crawl on rocks and want to, you know, get the most for their home and, you know, figure out how to spend some Jeep part money on buying a home, you know, then they're going to want to follow me, because that's kind of what I talk about. So that's my tip, is just to be as real as you can. And then also I nurture my leads like they're my past clients, you know, because most people will just spend all this time on past clients, which is huge, because that is 90% of my business is past client referral, you know, repeat, and, you know, which is good. But if you treat all of your leads like that and give them all the same value, then they'll be your past clients too someday. That's all.
Yes.
Thanks, Wendy.
Real quick, sorry, I want to throw in before I forget, because that happens to me a lot. When you don't post anything, it allows people to completely judge you on the one thing they see on your Facebook. And that can go really terrible also. So just, I mean, at the very least, just post a few things. It doesn't have to be personal. I know a lot of people don't want to put their personal life, and that's I agree. Like, I think the most personal thing I put on my on my social media is my son, right? Like videos of him running around or whatever. That's about it. Otherwise, it's fun stuff, funny interest, cars, real estate, coaching stuff, but don't leave a blank canvas either for people to paint it for you based on whatever they see, right? So
I love it. And I think that strikes the importance of why you need to humanize the process, like not just for the leads, but for yourself. And so, we call it interruption-based marketing. We call it digital door knocking, because the truth is, when someone's scrolling down their Facebook feed or their Instagram feed, this is, StreetText does them both, they aren't looking for your services. And it's just an entertainment place. And a lot of that time, hours a day now, especially during the environment we're in right now, hours or more a day just spent scrolling. Now and it's getting worse. TikTok. So the idea is, if people are just getting lost kind of to deal with life and they're scrolling, when you put something in that feed, it's got to interrupt it. And in that moment, it's value that interrupts it. It's an organic and native image. It's text copy that's simple to get. It's not a video. And video is awesome, but that's for retargeting. I know someone was talking about retargeting, but for meeting new people, it's simple. The message is simple. The imagery is simple. The reason why we found these seller leads that we work with, or even the buyer lead ads, it's so simple. They want what they clicked on now, and then so they should get that now. And that's all about serving and not selling, and giving them an experience. Now, on the other side of that experience, this is why when you look at social media lead generation, there should be an experience automatically that results in them meeting you. And that's why video integration is so massive, right? And video will change the game, because, like Gabriel says, they will judge you. And that's okay. But you want that body language to at least be smiling, right? And you're charismatic, just like Wendy is. Like, people get to know her. They're either going to love her, or they're just like, not my girl, right? But, I'd rather be building my tribe and the people that will respect me for me and the things that I love and what I value and what I do, than try to make everybody love me. Like, you're not going to get people. They're going to be naturally people that don't like you, or don't want what you serve, or thought it was something else and then just say something explicit or mean. But in social media, you got to be like water off a duck's back. You got to just move on to the people that want what you have. And so as you present yourself in that way, where it's all about value and what you're going to provide in that value, then it becomes more about creating conversations of discovery to help drive more of that value. We like to talk about it on the follow-up as starting with empathy, because the empathy moment is when that person, you resonate with that person who thought they were getting something immediately, and then there's a human being behind it. So you begin there, and then you drive the value that you're going to provide, and then any questions only reinforce more value of what they're going to get. And so I see when people do that and then personally follow up and ask the right questions, that's where relationships happen. That's where the seed is planted and invested. And those relationships naturally lead into appointments, because they see that you're coming from value and not trying to sell them. And then, just as important as Wendy was discovering, a lot of the times you can go find those people on Facebook and see similar connections and humanize it for yourself, because just as much as you want it humanized for them, you want to humanize that process and drive and see their social, so you can make that connection, right? Because now every day is a couple of degrees of separation from each other. So that's a couple of the pointers I've learned along the way. And there are real fun technologies like BombBomb and services that naturally align, and integrations like HomeBot that will naturally allow this process to be easier for you. Kim, you got something to say? Sorry, Brian. Kim, you're unmuted. I thought maybe you said something.
Yeah, I was just kind of going to reiterate Wendy's frame of thought. I go after everyone on I don't go after. I invite everyone on Facebook, everyone who answers an ad, to be my friend, and just get to know them that way. I can find a little bit out about them. and then they start messaging me, maybe I do want some real estate information. Maybe I do want this. So I have to make notes here because half my clients I'm texting are through Facebook Messenger. I've actually gotten so close to a couple people that they're questioning if they've ever met me in person. They said, have we met? Because it seems like I know you very well. And I have one who I've never met her. She works out at a restaurant, and she has given me 3 or 4 leads so far now of customers that have asked her, hey, do you know of any realtors in the area that can help me? And she picks up her phone, Facebook, finds me and says, call this person. So, you never know when you can meet somebody. I sent her a gift card, for referring each time, but we've never met. It's just the relationship through Facebook. And I also need to say that, along with, I think what Gabriel was saying, don't just post blah information. I actually posted, and it's been my highest read post, passing of my mom a couple of years ago. It was an anniversary, and I just posted a picture of the 2 hands of ours, and it is amazing. The more personal you get, the more people can relate to you and feel, they feel the love. And to me, that's how I'm starting most of my relationships, and then I get the business from them after nurturing.
Well, and just, from that alone, Kim, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to, I don't want to say be emotional, but, put ourselves out there in something, like the passing of your mother is something that it's incredibly personal and emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And, I personally feel that when we are, open and available in that way, we attract the right people. We attract the kind of people that we're wanting to deal with.
Yep.
I think that's incredibly important. Is first and foremost what we always say here at StreetText to all of our clients, which is obviously, most of you guys, is, people first. You guys, it's the know, like, and trust model. You're not selling anything. You're being yourself, and you're helping these individuals. And it's the same thing. Your leads are people first. Before their leads, before they're, cash in your wallet, so to speak, or money in the bank, whatever you want to call it. They're people. They are real people with real lives, real hopes and dreams and emotions. And it's uncovering what those are. And again, leading with just human emotion. I think that's incredibly important, is be vulnerable, just be yourself. I think that's by far the most important thing that to address is be yourself and allow them to be themselves. And again, you connect with the right people, and then you'll figure out what situation they're in. And hey, I've got 10 years of experience, 3 years of experience. I'm just getting to real estate, doesn't matter. But one way or the other, they become a top priority of yours, and their problems are something that you're trained to solve. It's fantastic, right? It's like a friend of mine is, looking for help painting their house. Well, darn it, I wish I was a painter because I could come over and solve that issue. Well, if they're asking me for something I can help them with, I love to be able to help them. And it helps that relationship further. It's the same thing. These people are just always asking for something that you guys are really good at, right? Negotiating, all that kind of stuff, preparing them for, everything that comes with transaction in a property. It's something you guys are great at doing. So again, you're helping them, become their friend first. It's the most important thing. So just be yourselves. Gabriel looks like
Gabriel's got his hands up.
Yep, go ahead, Gabriel.
Yeah, you actually just kind of touched on what I wanted to say. So, when we talk to like stockbrokers, financial planners, one of the questions we ask them is, so how many assets do you have under management? And if we think like that as realtors, people being our assets, like how many clients do you have under management? What does that mean? It means, how are you providing value throughout the whole time that they're not buying or selling? And what he was saying was about providing value as far as like, if you don't paint, you can connect them with somebody that paints, right? And there's like, if you treat people like you're their real estate manager, you are their go-to real estate person for anything and everything related to real estate, and let it be known. So for example, somebody I told today, I said, go make a video. You walk through an ugly house and you point out things like, okay, you see this thing, see how it's peeling and how it's flopping. This is what's happening. And this is the person I would call. So if you guys have any more questions about that, let me know. Right. And there's all these little things you can do to let people know that it's okay, first of all, to reach out to you. Number two, that it's okay to reach out to you about things that aren't buying or selling only, but you have to make it known. And that, I think, would make really great video content that's not so like, buy a house, buy a house, buy a house. It's more like, hey, check out this cool tip and who I can connect you to. And if you have questions, please remember your source for everything real estate right here, right? So work on that, I think.
Yeah, what Gabriel's talking about for everyone who's listening is we try and make withdrawals from empty bank accounts is an analogy that I like. So Gabriel's talking about, I'm going to give you 5 tips to sell your house this. I'm going to give you 7 things to do before you talk to whatever it is. But we're providing things for free for these people. We're making deposits into their bank account. So then when we have a conversation, we can do a withdrawal. And again, I don't want to make it completely transactional, but we try and take those withdrawals before we've established any sort of credibility, before we've given anything. So everybody, someone earlier mentioned about long-term, was Gabriel, long-term. And that's what this is. How many relationships do you need to close the number of transactions that you want in any given year? So I think that's really important for people to understand. I wanted to piggyback on what Kim said and just start opening the conversation up a little bit. People have asked a little bit about personal Facebook page versus a professional Facebook page. I've got an opinion on that, but I'd love to hear from some other people. And I think it's an important discussion. And I think that it might be different for everybody, but I think it's an important discussion to have. So love to hear any thoughts on personal Facebook page versus professional Facebook page. If nobody has a question, I can talk for 40 minutes. So there are no any other comments.
I'll say this. You have no choice about the business page if you're running ads. So that's a given. And it all depends depending on region and area, how you manage it. As far as the personal side, I do a lot of military and I've done a lot of relocation stuff around Seattle. When they're leaving, they're not my friend. It's a business relationship. So while my Facebook personal page is there, I try to make sure I'm not going to have a one and done person who says, "Oh, be my friend," and you never hear from them again. So it really comes down to, on my Facebook page, the personal side, I don't spam it with business. Every now and then I'll put maybe a funny thing that happened or maybe an informational thing that happened. But if you're truly wanting people to get to know you and know who you are, just posting houses and stuff like that on a personal page isn't going to do it for you. I want them to really know who I am. Just like if I come and friend request you, I'd like to know who you are, because when we say relationship-based business, that's still on a personal side. You still have a relationship of sorts and have to know what kind of relationship you want for the people you're accepting.
Appreciate the opinion. Anyone have a counterpoint on that?
I wanted to add what Leon was saying, provide value. I think we've all heard that, right? And some people really embrace it. But most people, I feel like, just haven't broken it down. Like, what does that mean to provide value? And I think if everybody just on their own just kind of reflects on that simple term, what does it mean to provide value? And just write things out, talk about it with somebody, you can come up with a whole bunch of awesome ways to actually provide value to the people that you're managing, right? Your client base, where they will keep coming back to your page or profile, or even just calling you with random questions, which is always awesome. I would love my phone to keep ringing with people with random questions, because you know what? It keeps me talking all day. And at the end of every conversation, I'm like, who do you know that wants to buy or sell or something, right? Hey, let's go check out this open house. Are you free today? So anything of value, but you really got to dig and figure it out, not just kind of take it for a cliche phrase and just do more videos or post listings. Like, that's not really providing value. I think, like, for the the 24-hour market watch, I think everybody has access to something like that. Most people that make a video on that, they go, okay, today there's 27 listings and there's 5 sold and there's this expired. What does that mean though? What does that mean to you? What does that mean to the market? What does it mean when people say, is there a bubble? Oh, I'm going to wait to buy because this bubble is going to burst. Oh, really? Where did you hear about this bubble? What does that mean to you? Why do you feel it's a bubble? What factors are backing up that you think it's a bubble? Okay, so just a few more thoughts. on that.
I think that's great, Gabriel. I'm going to offer the counterpoint to Leon's thing, and I'm going to use Kim as an example of that because she shared the story about her hands, and that's a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing that. It sounds like it's a very personal situation. And what I would say to you is people want to work with people. So if I get an email from you, or if I get a Facebook, if I became a lead, one of the things I'm probably going to do is I'm going to Facebook stalk you, right? And I don't give a rip about your personal page, to be honest. I want to know who you are as a person. Now, that's not true for everybody, but I just want to throw that out there that, you know, my coach says this. He says there is no differentiation in 2022 with personal and professional. The line is blurred, and that's the reality of the world that we live in. So I would definitely keep my Facebook professional page up to speed, but I believe also that you've got to put stuff on your personal page because people are going to Google that. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't mean, to somebody's point, that I'm just going to put, here's our new listing, here's the house I sold. That's not what I'm talking about. That's just bragging about your business, and nobody cares about that. I'm talking about, and Wendy dropped off, but you know, Wendy talking about some goofy video she did, or there's other people, I don't know y'all, but my point is, put something up there fun, interesting, and it doesn't even have to have anything to do with real estate. I think a good ratio, and Logan can probably talk to this as well, 4 to 1, 5 to 1. In other words, for every professional post I should put up, I should put 4 to 5 personal posts up as well. So I think the line is blurred, and if you want to have the most success, you do. Now, Leon's having success without it, so that doesn't mean it can't be done. I just wanted to throw it out there that you know, there's a different perspective on how to potentially do that.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody again is very different in the way that they treat their Facebook and the way that they want to be perceived and everything like that. Me personally, I'm a very introverted individual. It may not always seem like that. I try to appear extroverted. I'm not. I'm very much introverted. I'm very much to myself. I don't do a lot of posting. However, it's something that, again, you know, if I was still selling real estate, I absolutely would, because it's a necessity. People want to get to know you. They don't want to, you know, look at your business card and just read into what they think you are, right? And kind of Gabriel said it earlier as well. Don't leave a blank canvas for them to assume who you are. Make it obvious. Again, you know, family individuals are looking for something similar. They want to know that they're being taken care of. They don't just want some slick Maserati driving, you know, agent who, you know, made $10 million last year. If that's you, great, that's fantastic. But again, that's not the reason you're being selected. The reason you're going to be selected is because you're a real person that they can read into and say, I like this individual. I feel they have my best interest in mind. And again, as it comes to the Facebook pages, there's so many different ways to do it. Just do something, put it out there, you know, and absolutely don't have it all one direction. In my eyes, don't have it all business, because then you're not a real person, right? So have some family stuff in there. Be who you are. Now, with that in mind, though, there's so many different things that I would consider game changers, and that's kind of the purpose of these masterminds, is really to, you know, identify that next game changer, that one big idea. And not to put any pressure, but Jennifer, I just saw you come on here. Is there anything that you could think of in the time that you've been with us at StreetText, is that first aha moment, that one thing that if you could go back and tell, you know, Jen from 3 years ago, do this, start here, what advice would you give yourself going backwards?
Just to be all in. This is like so corny, but when you guys were talking, when Brian was talking, he said something and it made me think, yeah, that was the aha, that in order to really like embrace StreetText and just real estate in this market, especially when like the biggest clientele right now is millennials, is the difference between a contact and a contract is the R, which stands for relationship. I heard that from Grant Cardone and I love him, but it's corny, but if you think about it, that's what it is. So on Facebook, it allows you to build that relationship. So Facebook stalk away. So I think embracing the idea that it's not just unwarranted stalking, it's building a relationship, it's putting yourself out there. And like you said about posting, I mean, share your life. People want to see that. They want to know who you are and to like you, know you, trust you. So my words of wisdom would be just to embrace it. It's not hard. It's not techie. It's not about being flashy on video. I mean, here I am in a sweatshirt. I'll make videos all day and talk to my leads because we're real people and that's what they want to see. They want to feel comfortable with you.
Awesome, Jennifer.
And I'd let you come sell my house in a sweatshirt. I think that's fine. I'd be wearing a sweatshirt when you got here, most likely. So again, yeah, just being yourselves is by far the most important thing. And again, have the confidence to know that what you're doing isn't selling the individual's home. It isn't helping them buy. It is helping them in general. It's answering their questions and helping to guide them. And again, I always look at it as, if they didn't meet with me, what would they be getting? Like if they were trying to do a lot of this themselves, for many of us who've done, contract after contract after contract, things get missed, things get misplaced, things are crazy things happen in real estate, and having the experience, to be able to catch these things before they become an issue saves our clients time, money, anguish, all of these things. So they need us. Right. And it's just that ability to know, hey, I'm actually helping this individual. That's your true intention. They'll feel that that's your true intention. And the benefit is they get what they need out of it and you get paid. It's nice. That paycheck at the end of the day is fantastic, but you're not doing it just for the paycheck. You're doing it to help these individuals. And it just so happens that doing it the right way, you can make a lot of money doing it, right? Just make sure that that's not your main purpose in that's not your why. Otherwise, what happens is obviously we all get that commission breath, right? If that's your why, it's just not going to work as well for you. So make your why them, the individual you're dealing with. How are you serving them? And, regardless, I can't tell you how many people told me, you know what, Logan, we're just not in a place to buy right now. We're not in a place to sell right now. We're just not in a place for whatever. Hey, no problem. It's an open line of communication. I don't care what it is you need, reach out. If you need help moving some stuff around your house, I don't care. Give me a call, I'm your guy. Right. And the relationships I built over the years, just again, being myself, being helpful, being there to serve, I made a pretty nice little career for myself, right? So I think that, again, come from that place of service and great things happen. Brandon, looks like you unmuted yourself. Did you want someone to add something to that?
Yeah, I was just going to touch on, we have to remember this, and I've brought it up before in an LCA event, is we have to remember this assess phase. I'm reading this book called Never Lose a Customer by Joey Coleman, and he talks about the assess phase. And if we're going to go to the store and we're choosing between organic almond milk and regular almond milk, our assess phase is very quick. It doesn't take very long. But someone who's looking to buy or sell a house, that decision isn't going to happen like that. They have to get to know you. They have to just do some research. They got to get to like and know and trust you. So that assess phase is a lot longer than someone deciding between two types of milk. It's a lot longer down the road. And we have to understand that these people might not have a conversation with you right away because they don't know, like, or trust you yet. So it's all about that long-term nurturing, building that relationship, providing that value. And eventually that assess phase will turn into someone reaching out and having a conversation with you. So it's just really important to know that depending what you're looking to buy or do, there's an assess phase for that. And we have to understand that. So depending what it is, it's going to be short or it can be long.
Love that. I wanted to piggyback on what Jennifer said. She may not have been in this intention, but she talked about how she's doing her stuff in a sweatshirt. And here's the thing. I think the mistake that all marketers who aren't good at it make is they try to be everything to everyone. That does not work. So there are going to be people who go, Jennifer wears a sweatshirt. She ain't coming to my house. That's okay, because that's not her person. And so you just want to be who you are for those people, and those people will come to you. And by the way, like Brandon's talking about, why do I not have to worry about, I've already made the decision whether I want organic or not. Why have I done that? I've done some research. The same thing when I'm watching Jennifer's video, I kind of like her. It skips one of the steps when I walk into her front door for the first time, because I already like Jennifer. She's like me. She wears sweatshirts. I love to wear sweatshirts, whatever it is. I'm making that connection. She's part of my tribe. And that's what video does. If you are honest, sincere, and real. If you're stuffy, then it doesn't do any of that stuff. So when you're real, sure, you're going to cut out 20-30%, but guess what? The people who like you, half the work's already done. So I love the sweatshirt thing or whatever.
I don't wear sweatshirts to appointments, just so everyone's clear.
No, absolutely. I get that. And thanks for sharing that. But like, I wear a hat everywhere now. Why? Well, because my hair doesn't look as good as it used to. That's okay. But nobody cares anymore. It's 2022. 5 years ago, I couldn't have worn a hat online. People would have said, what's wrong with you? Why do you got a hat on our webinar? Nobody cares anymore.
It's a sweet hat though, Brian.
It's the best hat I got.
Right. And I like to bring it back to kind of a big reason why we're all here, obviously, and that's to, obviously meet community and do all these things, but it's how do we generate more leads and how do I convert more of them, of course. And, we got a lot of familiar faces on here, so I'm sure a lot of you guys have already experienced, what it is we do and how we help. But for anybody who's interested in testing and try it, look at the link there. It looks like Jacob posted it for us, which is great. Go and click on that. Come give the trial a go, and you don't necessarily have to come and start running ads right away either. You can come in, meet the community, hang around a little bit, pause the ads, ask questions, get to the bottom of things, edit your funnels, go through everything. Make sure it's the right fit for you. Turn some ads on. Within a day or two, you're going to find good leads coming through and some individuals that you get to talk to and start meeting the rest of the community. And again, get a really good feel for what it is we truly do. And kind of the way I put it, just to kind of put this all into perspective, is that while good ads may fluctuate over time, bad ads don't get good. And what I mean by that is you can come and run an ad for 2 days. If you're not getting cost-effective leads, turn it off, and your guide's absolutely going to be able to walk you through all that stuff and show you, hey, in your market, here are our expectations as to your cost per result this way or that way, cost per click, whatever it is you're looking for, whatever you're trying to accomplish. We can help you get there a little bit quicker and help you save a little bit of money on the way. That's kind of what we try to do. So I heavily recommend everybody, if you haven't already done so, come give it a go. Come try it out. You don't know until you try it. See the difference, and hopefully we get to see you guys on our other mastermind sessions as well. And again, I just love these kind of joint, StreetText LCA stuff, because we just connect with the right individuals. And again, we're always talking about finding our tribe. Well, I'd say you guys are my tribe, so thank you for being here. And it's really nice to see a lot of happy, friendly, familiar faces, I guess I would say.
Guys, we got about 3 minutes left. Do you have any other questions? Throw them in the chat. We'd love to get at least one more question answered. Anybody have anything else that they're, something they really want to know about?
I do want to say one more thing, if nobody's going to say anything, but Logan, what you were saying as far as the leads and coming in, doing your trial, and you don't have to start ads. Like, I'm telling everybody, if you're coming in for the free trial, turn the ads on. You don't need to customize anything for it to start working. And, I tell Logan this all the time, and this may not be a normal experience, but I got my first listing appointment on my trial. So when you come in for your week of trial and it's costing you nothing, spend a few dollars on the Facebook ad and let the leads come in. You'll figure it out. I mean, when you see a lead, you'll give them what you want, but figure it out as you go. My advice is, don't waste that week. Get your leads, even if you're not going to stick around, which you will once you get the leads, but get the leads for free. Why not?
That piggybacking off Jennifer, I did the same thing. I got one right away, and it's like, guy said, what do you want to sell? I said, like last week, I was there on a Thursday, listed by the weekend. But the biggest thing I say is this: the biggest investment is your time, and the only thing wrong is to do nothing at all. So people complain and complain. One thing coming into this, it's not an instant results. You're not coming in here and clicking a button. Too many people hide behind the technology. So show up wanting to succeed, and the results show up on their own.
Thanks everybody for being here today. A couple of things just to reiterate: this is recorded. There is a recording link in the chat. So if you want to watch this again, I think it was some great information, some great ideas that we shared today. And again, if you're not a StreetText person, free is hard to beat. Give it a whirl. And I'll piggyback one other thing on there, is that they will also give you coaching during your free trial. So, if you don't know what you're doing, if this tech looks like it's crazy to you, that's fine. We'll coach you through it. And I think that's an important concept as well, because I think a lot of people don't do something because they're not sure what to do. You don't have to know what to do outside of reach out to somebody and they'll get it taken care of. So, take care of that opportunity when you got it, and kind of go from there. Any other final thoughts? Logan, Brandon, Jennifer, anybody who's been sharing any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'll just double down on. We do say free trial. Obviously, we want to make sure everybody is well aware that the cost of the ad spend itself is not included, so you will have to pay for that. But it's just a quick way if you're going to run ads yourself, anyways. Come make them more effective. Come make more use of them. Come, continuously connect with other people who are doing the very similar thing in different areas with varying results, and learn from them. Learn from their mistakes. Learn from their wins. Everybody is winning together, and that's really what we try to do here, and this is just a small example of that.
Thanks,
I
Logan.
think I signed up about a week ago, and I've already gotten 3 leads that have given me 100% of their data and information. And I have some others where they just ping, and you can get the address from where they're pinging from. And I've sent them all just something personal. But I think from the most part, I like is the fact that I'm not creative when it comes to building these things, and you just get to go in and pick and run it and figure, and you do it 3 ways and figure out which one's touching the right people. And I've already got 1,600 hits in a week. So it's people that are clicking on my site and looking at things more than what I could have ever done. Is what because I was trying to explain this to one of my agents this morning, was that he doesn't do a lot of Facebook stuff. And I said, really, you got to get into one of these things, because he hates doing ads. He hates doing a lot. And I said, it's like on automatic. Just turn it on and let it run its course. Just feed it some money, because mine keeps going, hey, I'm out of money. And I'm like, okay, here's some more. And so, I mean, it's, I don't like doing those things. And I've actually seen that I've gotten an increase, because I also have list reports from a lender that sends out like a little thing where you can post it on Facebook every single day. And there's caption information, and you just post it and go. And I do that. And I've actually seen an increase in touches just from, I think, StreetText being on my Facebook, and that every day. I think I've been seeing a lot more activity happening. So it becomes more natural, I think, as time goes on.
Hey, we got time for one more comment, then we got to close up. Anybody have any final thoughts that they need to share? Cheryl, by the way, thank you. That's great. I'm glad you're having so much success in such a short period of time. That's a great testimonial. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here today. Again, you can watch the replay, get the 7-day free trial. Everybody, great information today. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you again here in a couple weeks.